Good morning, everyone. My name is Abraham Rose. Welcome to my stream. So, we have a lot to talk about. We certainly do. Let me go ahead and just get this up and situated. Just hope that everything is where it's supposed to be, and for some reason it's not. Why are you doing this to me, PowerPoint? Man, I've just been full of problems right now. Well, I guess we're not going to get the intro screen, so I guess we'll get straight into it. I did want to talk about a little bit as to why it took me so long to get up to streaming again. It's almost too crazy to talk about. I'm not one of those types of people that would be like, I don't want to bring up like all my issues, especially medical stuff, and I don't want to be one of those people that's constantly bitching and moaning and complaining. Not to say that most of those people's feelings aren't valid. I just don't want to come off as one of those people that is constantly complaining about stuff. So my biggest thing is the past couple weeks have been so crazy that in my mind, I don't think anybody will believe me. Because not that doesn't happen to real people, but there's quite a few things happening in the world that don't happen to real people that are happening. Nobody I know directly is affected by the LA wildfires, to my knowledge, but I know the area well, and I don't plan on going back to LA for a while, but I know that parts that I'm used to are going to be completely changed forever. You have to excuse me. I do have a bottle of water in here. So, my throat is still on the mend, and I guess I'll go ahead and start with what happened. So here's the basics of what happened. I woke up early that Saturday, did my stream, and while I was doing my stream, I was getting emails that my flight had been canceled, my flight for Sunday, and the people that were doing all of that were like, we're going to try and figure something out, be ready. And I went from having to stay in a hotel that night to having to make sure I had everything ready and packed that evening, and was going to fly out that early afternoon. And while I was technically ready, I wasn't ready. And basically that was a start of what I call, I don't know, the week from hell, or the 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks from hell. And I won't get into all the other details because I don't think anybody really cares. But basically, in my rush to get ready, I just went and I got from the local convenience store, Nicoman, and that Nicoman gave me food poisoning while I was on the plane, making the plane ride an absolute joy. And when I got to my location, my undisclosed location, I basically was completely out of it and near useless for a couple days. Just drinking water, eating just a little bit. I got to work, I got a few things done, and well, my boss man's like, you should get out. You should go to this place and this place. So I did, because I had the energy to do so. And 2 days later, after going in and out, don't know when I got it, but long story short, I got corona again. Yeah, fun. And that pretty much set quite a few things into motion that led up to where I am now, my voice was completely gone for at least a week. And I didn't start going back to work until this past Wednesday. I went back to work, and my throat's still a little dry. It's not, but I mean, I was in a call yesterday for like 3 hours, so today should be okay as long as I got some water with me. And it's a special concoction, which I'm hoping will help me out. Sorry, my iPad went to sleep. I got my iPad here for some notes. I'm going to try and wing most of this. I'm going to wing it and go ahead and get this over with. And then the ending part will be a little bit more important. But this stream will probably stay up for a while in case anybody has any questions. I'll just direct them to here. Although I doubt anybody will. So, the first section, which I do have some notes. I'm going to try and wing it. The dream. Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. I was supposed to start streaming back in May of 2020. 2019 was an amazing year for me. And I was like full on just like watching streamers. That was my thing. And I'm like, damn it, I want to do this too. And so I started to prepare for it. And it was just going to be me. The content and everything was going to be a little bit different. But I had everything ready. I had about 90% of everything ready. And then in about February, I got sort of a notice that if the world does shut down, they may have to close the office I was working at. And at the time, which is the way I should have thought, I was like, well, damn, more time for streaming. And then basically, I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. I mean, I got laid off, and not quite laid off to an extent, and just like when we are at operating hours again, we will bring you back. You're not fired, you're not whatever, but we can't afford to keep you on, we can't afford to pay you because we're not getting paid. And that kind of scared the shit out of me because of all the other stuff that had been going on, and I really don't want to go into all that because this stream would take forever. So my original plan to go solo and do it a certain way, after that kind of scared me, because I went from having like a backbone and everything. I'm the type of person that wants everything, like my routine or my planned routine or my plans are taken out. Well, it kind of throws me and scares me, and I kind of had to rethink a bunch of stuff, and I just knew that I wanted to be part of something. And that was the original goal, was to go solo and just meet up with people and just hopefully work on stuff together, stream together, maybe collab and stuff like that. That was the dream. And then the dream kind of changed. I kind of had some people I was kind of close to at the time, and I started trying to form a team with them. We went through everything, and I let them know my plan, and the first like 2 weeks to 2 months of this was like magical. Everybody was in on it. Everybody was just like seeing the stuff that I was doing, and everybody was doing their part, and they're like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do that, let's do this, here's an idea for everyone. And it was flowing, and I was getting excited again. And it was mostly supposed to, like, I had seen like other people just 100% just blossom and flourish out of nowhere. And that also kind of scared me to a point to where I was like, kind of streamed before. I've done stuff online for a long time, but I've never done like streams like this. And I decided that I was just going to be part of the team, and I was going to stream, but my main goal and my main position is somebody that was going to be part of the team was I was going to sorry, I'm just checking, make sure I'm not missing anything. I was just going to be an assistant or just be part of the team and not be like a major contributor as far as content. Like as a streamer, I was just be behind the scenes and help, and I would be like, it would basically just be constant collaborations, and I would show up at times when needed, and I would sometimes do my own thing when required. And the overall goal of our group was we did have one person who was going to kind of do what I was doing, but they would stream a lot more than I would, and I would mostly support them. There were 4 of us total, and 2 of us, which would be me and one other person, we were going to be mostly support, and if streaming worked out for me, I would stream more. But the main part of it is we had a virtual AI assistant, and this was first conceived back in 2001, and the goal was to go and do everything in 2002. And our job, while doing our thing, was to train and teach this AI assistant. So this was kind of very similar to a Neurosama and Vettel situation, only the person who was doing most of the programming wouldn't be doing much other than just being known and being like a manager type person, and it would be my job and the other person's job to do most of the training and interact with the AI assistant and whatever, to the point to where we're hoping that we could get them to stream on their own. And this was it was actually pretty cool. We had designs and everything, and we had an evolution planned. And then the first sort of kink in that is the person that was doing all this got offered a new job. And we basically were just like, no, take the job. I mean, you weren't going to be streaming, you were just going to be helping us out. We're still going to do our thing. You'll still be able to do your thing. And after that, we were still going through. I was moving ahead like 1,000% on me, but the other person kind of stopped doing their part, and still don't know why. Through them, we brought in another person who was already established and already known and was going to help us out, and we were kind of working with their company, and they weren't too keen on me because I wasn't already known or anything like that, but they loved the demo that we gave them, and they was like, okay, well, they were the ones that started the idea of me doing my March project, which I've talked about on here before, basically to prove that at least I could do my part, and the other person, if they wanted to be part of the project, they could do their part. And one of the downfalls of the March project was I decided that it should be more about, which in all fairness is probably the best way to go about it. It should be about me and my training, and me and my practice, and me and doing my thing, and not really bringing in anything from the project. Well, that sort of made the person who was doing the programming and the AI part of it, they kind of lost interest to an extent, and I don't blame them. And the fourth person, they kind of just gave up completely. They got themselves another job, and just to this day, they've never streamed. the biggest disappointment was the person who I thought I was getting along with well. I thought we were getting along well, and we're like, okay, well, let's just do a collab. And I've already done this for a few weeks, and it could be something simple. You don't even have to use your model. You don't even have to use your real name. I just want somebody to bounce off of, like we do in these Discord calls. And long story short, that never happened. And basically, the one thing that came out of the March project that was supposed to be like proof that I could do this was that it made me really, really, really want to do streaming on my own, like badly. And well, that's what kind of started pretty much everything. So I started over. I did everything from scratch. I learned how to do everything that I can do now already, which helped. And that's when the next part came in. The plan. So the plan was, I was going to stream like the streamers I normally watch. I wanted to at least try to get to that level as far as streaming. You know, just like have good audio quality, have basically an original plan as far as like how everything was going to be laid out, original graphics, original look, original everything, but do it like everybody else was. I would get as ready as possible and release stuff little by little. I mean, I still have tons of shit that I haven't shown to anybody. And I would purposely start things off simple and upgrade or whatever, little by little, like emotes, some graphics, some rewards. I would plan artwork and networking strategically to help with outreach and growth. And that's still kind of on me that I didn't get as much of that done. It's kind of funny. The number one thing that I finished this year, I think I maybe got like one follower from that, even though the artwork over several platforms maybe got like 10 to 20,000 impressions. I mean, what can you say? I mean, I think if I continue to do that, maybe it will, because people want consistency. Yeah. I would work to find people like me that I could collaborate with, and I tried to do that, and it didn't really work out. I had hope that I would be different enough that I would stand out from the crowd. And well, I didn't stand out at all, except for a few trolls. If anything, I kind of blend in to an extent that people just didn't care. So let's get on to the next part. The start. So I started streaming, and that's when, the scuff became real. So before my first stream, I decided I was just going to get one of those vitamin drinks to help with my throat, one of those jelly drinks. And I saw a new one. It was over in the same section as all the other ones. That shit had something like guarana or whatever, or caffeine in it, and it didn't say so, or I didn't see it, and I got really sick. Like, I thought I was going to pass out while doing that stream. And it was a complete disaster. Even though at one point I had a peak 3 viewers, I just ended up just re-recording it and just posting it as a video. I re-recorded it from scratch just so I had something. Yeah. And even in the re-recording, the audio was still messed up. I had the software called SteelSeries Sonar. And while it worked fine 95% of the time during my March project, well, I don't know what happened in the months between March and August, but it decided it was not going to work. And it gave me a lot of trouble. So I just ended up deleting it and started from scratch. And that caused a few other audio issues throughout the next couple weeks, but I think I'm at a point right now to where everything is fine. And then I started networking, and it went well until it didn't. I'm bad at this, I know. For me to overcome my shortcomings, it takes a lot of work, and it's exhausting. And it's something that I know that's me. It's all on me. I tried really hard to get collabs going. Only got one, and while if you watch the VOD, it's the I don't even remember what the damn thing is. Among Us collab. That didn't turn out like it was supposed to, and in the background some things happened that sort of left me like I was just completely just felt like I was done. Like it was a complete failure in my mind. Even though if I watch back at it, it was still a lot of fun. And I really, really, really wish I could have done more. But if I organize something, or if I'm put as an organizer or something, I sort of go into work mode, and a lot of people really aren't down with that. People don't seem to understand that you have to be a certain way to sometimes get these kinds of collabs to work. And I was in work mode, and I was treating everybody like that, and a lot of people didn't appreciate that. So, because once I'm put as the head of something at my job, it happens. And when it's in my control and I'm the one leading it, it gets finished. Everything gets done right. Which is why if I plan something, I like to plan it like way ahead of time. And when everything changes at the last second, it gets me really frustrated. And even though it's not the other people's fault, I had already had, let me count, 3 or 4 collabs planned that basically, and 2 of them I didn't even plan. I was just there. I was ready. I was there to do my part, and they were canceled, or the people, or one person would back out, and then the main person would be like, well, why do it at all? And that kind of almost happened with that collab. And after that, I was just like, I tried like 2 more times with people. One of them on the Japanese side was just 100%. I understood. They were like, I just don't have the confidence, and I'm glad I asked them. I'm glad I put myself out there. And they were basically just like, I just don't have the confidence to do it. And I respected them for that. And I may still work on it. I may still try and put myself out there. I've asked people, even just to fucking play games off stream. And they'll be like, yeah. And then they never get back to me. So I kind of put myself in the, maybe I'll get to a position where people want to collaborate with me, and they'll ask me. Because I know that once I say yes, it's gonna happen. Unless, like, I don't know, I'm dying. I'm not that, I don't back out for shitty reasons. So once I say, I'm true to my word. And that's just how the past couple months went. And to me, that was more frustrating than having no viewers for most of my streams. Because it felt like it was me. And it was me, but I don't know, it was just, that's probably what made me the most frustrated. Because it's like, if I just want to sit here and play games, I can do that without streaming. So, yeah. Let's get to the next part then. the reality. The first 4 months were a near complete waste of time as far as streaming. I'd already practiced. I already kind of knew what I was doing, even though there was some scuff. I already had experience. But if I wanted to make any of my dreams come true, I needed to do things differently. Basically, the lowdown is I just wasn't trying hard enough on the right things. I already had the practice, I already had the training and experience. I felt that if anything was going to happen, it could still happen without going all out. Like, I just felt that if I just did the work, did the streaming, did the networking, things would happen. But and then once people were like, I got anybody's attention whatsoever, I could start adding stuff and start being like, look what I got ready. And just start adding stuff like that would normally take me like a week to do, and just have ready, just at snap. And I still have plenty of that. But the reality is that none of that had a reason to happen. And it's basically because I still think that even if I did go all out and do everything that I planned on doing, regardless of having people to bounce off of, I still would have failed overall. So the main reason for failure, it's not because I was not streaming. What was that? What did that asshole say? Something about not streaming or streaming dead categories. It had nothing to fucking do with me streaming dead categories. With the exception of Disgaea, everything that I was streaming was what people I was watching that were streaming. Pretty much. So yeah, fuck you. I mean, that has nothing to do with it. I do know why. Basically, the first one was streaming times. I'm usually only available during JSD dead hours. So, usually most of my streaming availability, I mean, of course the weekends were whatever, but I tried streaming really early, didn't change anything. I tried streaming really late, which is harder for me to do because I normally have to be asleep pretty early because I sometimes have to be up at like 3-4 in the morning for work. And most of the streamers I liked watching, with the exception of a few Aussie streamers and Japanese streamers, they streamed when I was sleeping or working or streaming. So yeah, stream times were a big part of it. Yeah, I think JST 1600 hours, like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. were my main like free hours on weekdays. And I would get a few people from a few night owls, a few people from Australia or Russia or even in Japan. But that's about it. I thought about just changing up my sleep schedule and sleeping when I would normally be streaming, like go to bed at like 3 o'clock p.m. and wake up at, I don't know, like 10 or something like that, 10 p.m. And then just be a night owl and stream during those times as an EN streamer. And that's why I started thinking about seriously going and doing streaming in Japanese only, because maybe that would help. But that was the reality of that. The next was content. I mean, I pretty much streamed what I wanted to, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Pro Sekai streams were probably the ones I had the most engagement on. This didn't bother me much because I still kind of saw this past couple months is training. As a matter of fact, the beginning of this year was supposed to be like a big project, which because of the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I had to completely abandon because, well, I was either sick or work at the end of the year last year. I'm going to be more prepared for that next year, or this year, I guess. That was not good, and that was out of my control. So there was really nothing I could really do about that. But there was things that I could have done, which I'm still can kind of happy. I just didn't make clips. While I do have off the top of my head a few things that I could watch again and find some clips from, in my mind I just didn't see anything. Like when I did my little side project, or my little training arc project in March, I knew when I had a clip. I knew when I had one, and I would grab it. And it's just like, that was kind of frustrating because it might have been because of how I was focusing. But that, and I don't watch my streams because I was just streaming so much. I don't have time to watch one of my streams. I'd rather watch somebody else, And that's how I kind of thought, how everybody else was. Why watch Abe when I can watch somebody better? Yeah. So, yeah, me. I'm not what most people want to watch in the first place. Being different isn't always a good thing. So, I hate to admit this, but I did have kind of expectations. It's sad, but I kind of thought I'd have an audience somehow. Half the streaming plans I wanted to do, I couldn't do because, well, 97.8% of the time, there was nobody there. Like now, it was just me. Streaming certain content with nobody at all to bounce off of just really, I don't like to admit it, but it kind of got to me. Only because when people were there, I really fucking enjoyed it. I loved it when people were here. And it sort of made it's what made it fun. And that's what made it sad as well. And it kind of made me get to a point to where that's what this whole project that I had to abandon was for the beginning of this year. And it's why this is the beginning of the end. But, yeah. I just didn't expect, like with the side project that I had, a ton of people said they were going to show up and never did. But the people who did show up, when they were there, I loved it. And then on like one of the last streams with that project, I had the most people I'd ever had in the room at once. And it was the most fun I had streaming, and it just happened to be my last stream. And, well, it's probably why at the end of it I just was just like, no, I've got to do this. And, well, I was just a bit frustrated about it. I just didn't have the time or personality to make it happen, I guess. And another thing I don't really want to admit is that seeing others start around the same time or even after with a fraction of the effort that I put in and do basically, I don't want to say they didn't work hard, but stream like 1/10 of the time that I did, do extremely well, like overly extremely well. Well, it took a toll on me mentally more than I wish it would. And it took a lot to really kind of push through, and I did. I still streamed almost 5 times a week, regardless, sometimes 6, sometimes 10. I don't know what was the most I did in a week. And this wasn't the plan. Because of all this, I was really careful and I stayed in my shell most of the time, as I was scared I'd be pinned as a specific kind of streamer. I didn't want to overact. I didn't want to play some kind of character. I didn't want to not be me. But even if I did, they would still be part of me. Everything that I do is part of who I am, even if I were to play a character or whatnot. I mean, there's lots of little dumb things that a lot of people will tell you. I mean, the dead categories thing, I guess, is kind of valid to an extent, but not really needed. Of course, being a male streamer doesn't help, but that's not 100% like a failure point. I mean, there's lots of little things. I mean, it could be my voice, could be how I look, could be how I move, could be a lot of things. The reality is that I, as of right now, am not really what people are really looking for. So, this is the end. This is the end. Oh, I'm not quitting. But this is the end of me trying to be something that I wanted to be. This is the end of my dreams. This is the end of what is basically I thought I needed to be a streamer. And I don't want to say I wanted success, because my version of success is not the same as what everybody else is. And this is pretty much the end of that. This is the end of all of that. So, what does that mean? Oh no, you can see my secret controls. Oh no! So what does that mean? What does the end mean? The end means that now we talk about the future. And as far as the future is, well, it's not going to be what the past was. I'm sorry, I have no more notes because everything here is going to be bullet points. So, yeah. So first things first, I'm only going to be streaming occasionally, probably about once a week. Maybe twice, depending on how things go. It's going to be when I feel like it. I will finish Disgaea 1. That's probably going to be the only thing I'm going to be streaming weekly, depending on how things go. Give me a second. I think I need to drink a little bit more water. So that's definitely going to be, I'm definitely going to finish that because I said I would. And I'm a man of my word. So if there's anytime there's a Pro Sekai Cheerful Carnival, I will stream that. Unfortunately, we just finished one, so it may not be another one till next month. But yeah, I'll still stream Pro Sekai, but it will mostly be Cheerful Carnival. Or maybe if I just feel like it, I'll stream something else. Maybe if I pull some gacha or something. I don't know. We shall see. But Pro Sekai will definitely be part of my streaming regimen, just probably only Cheerful Carnival. Short Tetris streams. Short Tetris streams will be the main part of my random streaming, if I do feel like streaming for like an hour or so. The 9,999 Puyo Puyo Tetris attempts will still be happening. The first one was supposed to happen tomorrow, but I'm still sleeping like 10, 12 hours a day. I'm still recovering from COVID slowly. I feel a lot better. But man, I just can't stop sleeping. My body is just, that double whammy just took a lot out of me. But when I'm ready, I will be doing another attempt. And let's hope I can do it in less than 11 or 10 hours. So that's most of the streaming, I think. Maybe start something else. I think I'm going to start, once this guy is done, or maybe, I don't know, maybe start another game. I still have games I want to play. I still have a list that's forever long. But it's like, if I'm going to play them, and I just don't have, and it's just me, then I'm just going to play them off stream. But once I finish this guy, I'm definitely going to start something else. And I'll talk about that later. So, that means because of everything, there will be no more schedules. Schedules are finished. I will not have a schedule until there's a need for one. Basically, I'll just announce it on Twitter. Or I'll just hop on and stream, whatever. So yeah, no more schedules. I will be removing a lot of old streams and videos. Basically the do I talk about that next? I don't remember. I can't see. But yeah. So yeah, no more retrospects. Retrospects are going away, and I am removing all the old ones. They did terrible. Nobody watched them, and I mostly did them for me anyway. Don't need to do them for me anymore. So I'm probably going to go ahead and get rid of all of them probably tomorrow. Today I'm super busy after the stream. Let's see. Oh yeah. No more Japanese study streams for now. This could change. I could still go 100% Japanese, and that's still a possibility. But I think even though my Duolingo stuff is some of the best content that I've had on YouTube, it's done the best, I think all that's going to go. It might. I don't know. We'll see. I might just keep like a couple of them. But yeah, no more Japanese study streams. I might do a test stream if I feel like I've gotten to a point. Maybe I'll do like a level 6 test or something like that in a couple months. I don't know. I'm kind of scared about that. We'll see. I'm not too sure how things are going to go. Hold on, I'm going to go ahead and move myself over just a little bit. Where am I? Where are you, you idiot? There you are. Just move myself over. Just a tad. So yeah. This is kind of scary because this kind of means that, I mean, I have been doing like Duolingo and another app every day, but only for like 10, 20 minutes. I'm hoping that this helps. If just a little bit, if at all. But we'll see. I mean, that's pretty much it. No more unrealistic expectations. This is the most important thing. I'm just going to do whatever, which we're going to talk about here in a second. So I'm not going to do anything expecting anything. I kind of said that in the past, but let me move my mic a little bit. I kind of said that in the past, but you know, I did have some sort of expectations or hopes or dreams, but no more. I think I need to be realistic about this if I'm going to do it. But yeah. The focus. So, this is important. This is the ending. This is everything. The focus. So, I'm going to work on myself. I think that is something I kind of was already doing, but I need to do more. Maybe I need to change up how I do things with me. Maybe I need to do any of the things I'm about to show you, and maybe that will help me focus on myself. Stay busy. One of the scariest things about drifting away from being a normal streamer and streaming on a schedule and planning out everything is just kind of stop doing it. But I'm going to try and stay busy. I'm still going to try and pull some clips and shorts from content that I already have, from streams I already have, and just see what happens. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I have to do it regardless, because if I'm going to continue this, I got to try the things I haven't done yet. Write new content. So I have a lot of writing to do, because while a lot of the stuff that I've already written and already planned is possible and I can still do, I have to work on stuff that will work with what I'm doing now. So a lot of the new content kind of came up through the retrospects. And the planning and stuff would happen as I was just writing the retrospects at the end. That was kind of the goal of it. And I was just like, well, why not just make videos out of it? Why not just stream it? And that's how those came to light. And well, they're kind of useless to stream. So now I got to write new content without it. I got to get my Discord live. My Discord's been sitting there vacant for years now. And I'm going to set that up. And there'll be reasons for that, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Update all graphics. So, in the focus of moving on from everything, I'm going to go ahead and change all the graphics, with the exception of my room. Basically, because I still have plans for that. I can still do what I want it to do, and it's still kind of what's the word I'm thinking of? Not relative, relevant. It's still kind of relevant to any path that I take in the future. So basically all the overlying graphics, going to change up the fonts, logos, transitions, everything. For now, the basic stuff the stuff that I have right now will stay for a little bit, with the exception of the ending. And I'm going to update everything, hopefully this month. Stop saving stuff. So I have a whole bunch of stuff saved that I was just going to post when I felt it was ready to be posted. Oh, I need to drink some more water. Oh, yeah, my throat's still almost there. Yeah, you can. I still feel it kind of go a little bit. Hopefully, I can make it through the rest of the stream. We don't have much more left to go. Yeah, stop saving stuff. Go ahead and just start putting stuff out there, putting stuff in the background. Put out a couple little things that I was gonna do anyway. I've been working on. Finish a whole bunch of projects that were already in the works or almost done, artwork and everything. So there's stuff that, this is a double-edged sword. There's stuff I gotta let go. It's just never gonna be. I would rather start from scratch than use something I already worked on that was supposed to be for something that never happened. So some of it's going to get straight up deleted. Find another income source. So for the focus to happen, I need to make a bit more money, because I don't know if I talked about this, but I live paycheck to paycheck, and this is kind of by design. It's scary. I've already started selling stuff to prepare myself for a lot of this, and there's a few things that could happen this year that I still want to be able to stream, I still want to focus on stuff, and I still want to work on myself, but I also don't want to work 60 hours a week. So I'm gonna try a couple things and see if because when I mean I'm living paycheck to paycheck, it means that the worst case scenario, I'm okay. Best case scenario, I'm not like building up a savings or whatever, but I just got to be careful. And if I want to do anything that I want to do, without like getting all stressed out from working too much, then I need to find another way to make money. Which one of the things I didn't put on here in the focus could be I could go back to repairing shit, and I wish I could do it and make videos about it. I'm trying to think of a way to do that, but we'll see. Be okay being alone. Insert tangent here. So I got to be okay with streaming just to stream, which I kind of already have been, or else I wouldn't have done it. But yeah, today is kind of a weird day, because after I'm finished with here, I'm gonna head on over to an old friend's house who I used to meet up with a lot. They were overseas and they're back in Japan. They want to meet up for lunch, and I'm gonna do that. I'm not friends with any of the people I work with. I kind of push some of them away, mostly because I don't feel any connection to any of them. I mean, we have a few things in common, but I don't talk to anybody outside of work unless it's work related. And I'm not known as being like the standoffish guy as far as work, but I mean, I am an introvert and I do have other things going on, but I have had a few moments, especially in the past 6 months, to where I've not been okay being alone. And after the March project, and people who I thought were going to be friends basically abandoned me and the project. And then the last person, who I talked about a bit, they're just a completely different person. We still get along. We have no problems with each other, but we never got a chance to be really friends. And I was kind of hoping that project would have made that happen, and it never did. I have I want to say more than one. I have like one Japanese friend that contacts me like once a year. They work at pretty much a black company. And they're one of the only friends that's kind of like into like some of the stuff that I'm into that we can talk about. And I mean, like if I were to message them on Line, the Japanese messaging app, right now, I might hear from them, because I know they're working today. I might hear from them next week sometime. And if we start planning right now, and they don't have any plans for Golden Week that involve work, I might be able to meet up with them with Golden Week. So it's like, I don't have anybody I can talk to daily. And I feel like having somebody like that is kind of something I kind of want. Just somebody I could message and But I kind of got scared because every time I get to a point to where I want that, something happens on my end to where I feel like I'm constantly be talking about myself or how bad things are going or how frustrated I am with how things are going. And I don't want to be that person because I am that person to people who I'm not friends with. And I'm very nice. And I get that a lot already, and I just don't, it scares me sometimes. And I kind of thought, before starting this streaming project, the one that I'm on right now, I thought long and hard if this is what I really wanted to do. Because I was kind of interested in focusing on finding more friendships, like IRL friendships, and maybe even a relationship. And I thought about it for a while. And in my brain, that seemed more impossible than me becoming a streamer and then meeting people, meeting friends that way. That, and I'm overly sensitive about like talking to people. I don't want them to think that I'm hitting on them. Like, as far as like, because I just see how other guys act online, and I don't want to be that guy. But as much as I like meet people and think they're amazing, and I've already had situations where I've had people who I thought I was cool with, people who I thought I was friends with, and I was never, ever, ever inappropriate with them at all. And they just ghost me. And that just put me in a mindset to where I was just like, okay then, I guess it's just me. So yeah, there's that tangent. I'm kind of scared about being alone for the rest of my life. Like, I don't have family. I have a sister, and we're not close at all. We just talk through email. I haven't talked to her over voice or in person since the pandemic, since like 2020. And that was a weird conversation. I have a great aunt who lives in Scotland. And you know what? I may send her a letter. She doesn't really do email. She has an email address, but I still don't think she checks it. She's my granny's sister. And I know that my sister keeps up with her estate, because if anything were to happen to her, that would be something she would deal with, because she's the next of kin, and she's the one who would deal with all of that, not me. So if anything were to happen to her, my sister would let me know. So she's pretty up there, but I wonder if she'd be happy to hear from me. But yeah, I don't have any close friends. I mean, the people I'm meeting with today, I've kind of talked about them. We're kind of close, but it's sort of like a weird situation. And I mean, I don't care. So my life has been weird. I've never been in a relationship. And there's kind of things that make me want to, And there's kind of things that make me feel like it's impossible. And I had a really, really unusual upbringing. I had a lot of medical problems. I had a lot of family problems. And then it was just survival after that. It's like my first roommate when I lived in LA was a woman. And basically we were both in the same situation, and nothing ever happened. I mean, we both felt I was focused on my thing, she was focused on hers. And yeah, my only roommate, pretty much. And a couple things happened between then and moving to Japan that are stories I was kind of saving. I don't really have time to talk about them today, but yeah. So I thought long and hard about it. And every once in a while, thought of being alone, even just getting some friends or something. It kind of scares me. And the thought of like being alone on like a deeper level, it scares me too. But the way things are going in my life, I gotta be okay with being alone. So that's gotta be part of my focus. Then, the one important thing, and to wrap things up, technically, because we still have a bit to go through. Find one thing to put energy in. So, what will be the focus? I mean, I could stay and just work on artwork, animation, make comics, make original shorts. The only thing that costs me is time. And I've got time. So I have artwork that's half done. I have tons of artwork that's half done. I have new ideas. I'm never out of ideas. I have some things that are kind of relevant that I'd like to do, like sooner than later. I have some old stuff that I'd like to do. So I have stuff that I've already written. I mean, it could be easy for me to work on artwork 6 days a week and then stream one day. I mean, it's kind of almost the original plan of when I was going to stream originally. Stream like twice a week and then focus on artwork and design stuff. That's back when I was learning design, before I started streaming. So music. This has been like, while being sick, been my main sort of like, really, really, really wish that I could do. One of the things that I did at my job when I was there and semi-healthy is I was going through a whole bunch of stuff that was in storage to get ready for trash or recycle or reuse or to be sold. And on a bunch of hard drives, I found a shit ton of old music. And of course I grabbed it all. And some of it's lost media. Some of it I couldn't find on the internet. I brought it up to a couple places on Discord, and I'm probably going to post a few of them on Reddit because I'm just beyond curious, because some of it's like radio quality and the song or the singer or rapper or whatever just doesn't exist on the internet anymore. This stuff from the 90s, man. And some of it's stuff I've never heard was super popular if it's for its time, that I liked, that I found. And I would like to try making some mixes. Some some of the stuff that I already listened a ton of on YouTube, and but I need software for that, because I don't think I can do it in GarageBand on the iPad. I think it would drive me mad. So that's why there's the time and money thing. So if I'm going to do music or make music and release original music that's of a better quality, I got to spend some money. I need to get another audio interface, because the one I have right now is made for like streaming, not for like music and stuff. You can do music stuff on it. I've recorded some music stuff on it, but I think I need to get another one. I want to do Vocaloid. I kind of already done Vocaloid in the past, but if I'm going to do it, I need to spend money on the packs and the software and software to run it and things like that. So that would have to happen. This is all investment. Music, no matter what, is an investment, which is why it's something I need to choose if it's going to be my focus. And doing karaoke, which means it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice. And if I'm going to do it, it's probably going to end up being part of a different project, or as practice for originals, or if I get enough of an audience, because I'm not doing karaoke to myself, because most of the time it's got to be on archive stuff. So, I mean, if it's going to be unarchived, then what's the use? You don't have an audience. So yeah, music, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to think about that this week. Gaming, which requires time or money. So I've been wanting to get a wheel and pedal set up for driving games. I love driving games. I haven't played as much on the stream because the ones that I'm good at are much older, and I haven't had much practice in them. And you need practice to really get to it. And if I'm going to do driving games as like a focus, I want to get a wheel, and I want to get a good wheel set up, which means I got to put some money into it. I think it's probably going to cost like at least 50,000 yen here in Japan, which what's that? That's like $380, $350, something like that. But I mean, something I'd have to come up with that I just don't have a budget put aside for. Or I could, with Pro Sekai and other rhythm games, get into VR and rhythm focus, because two of the rhythm games that I've really wanted to play, you need a VR headset for. And that's Beat Saber and Touch the Beat. And I can't play those without a VR headset, and one that would be able to do what I want to do would cost, I don't know, 40,000 yen, 50,000 yen, 100,000 yen, I'm not sure. I've looked at a couple. Low Health Heroes, they got themselves one or two, and I was watching them do a VR stream. I was just like, well, damn, I want to try that. I've actually never tried a VR headset, so I would hope I wouldn't get dizzy. So I probably have to head on over to Yodobashi and try one before I would even consider buying one. And then if I do a VR headset, there's all the other VR stuff I could try. But yeah, that's money. Learn one big game. So get into Apex doesn't cost much money. You can get into that, but there's a few other big games that I could get into and hopefully get good at that cost quite a bit of money or take more time. I guess a lot of these are more time than money, because I think I would have to, if I were to finally focus on like Apex or Valorant or anything like that, or anything that's just like a lot of the other people play, then it would give me a chance to get into more collabs, but I'd have to get better at, or mostly time than money, I think. And I would have to do a lot of it on my own, which means it would have to be the focus, which means music and artwork and things like that wouldn't be the focus. It would just be that. And the reason why these three right here are the first things I bring up is because these three focuses would be improving myself and hopefully help me network more and build up more of an audience to where I could maybe start streaming more again. But to do that, I've got to create a focus. But doing one big game or one big genre, especially after I finish Disgaea, is definitely something that's a possibility. All of these are possibilities. I wish I could do them all, but the problem is I have to focus on something. So here's the lesser part of the focus. I love ASMR. I listen to ASMR every day. Helps me relax, helps me sleep. But if I'm going to do it, I'm only going to do it if I can do it right. And I won't take requests. At least not requests to an extent. Like if I get enough ASMR stuff done to where people sort of understand what kind of content I want and they have a request based on that kind of content, then yeah, I would take requests. But I'm not going to do any kind of ASMR just because somebody else wants to hear it. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I wouldn't do anything, well, I don't know. I mean, I might experiment with a few things, but I already know what kind of ASMR I would do. The problem with ASMR is that, yeah, only if I can do it right. And I think the bare minimum setup to do it right is over 100,000 yen. So it would be over about $800-900 to do it. And I don't have that right now. And I don't have that for something that would just be, I would just be trying. I do have a surround sound microphone that I've used for other things. It's a little Zoom microphone that does 5.1 surround. I could play around with that a little bit and see what kind of ASMR I could do with that. Just to test it out. And I don't know if I'll make a separate channel for that because I'm just scared. I know how ASMR and streamers or even especially VTubers in general is, but I still want to give it a shot. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Yeah, there goes my voice. Hold on, let me drink a little bit of water. Yeah, it's... Yeah. Yeah. So. Writing. So, back to writing short stories. And then kind of sharing them in a way. I don't know how I'd share these. I mean, maybe I could write something and publish it. Again. But we'll see. Interactive stories. I mean, they kind of require an audience. It was kind of a project that was already ready. But you kind of need an audience to do all those interactive projects that I wanted to do. I'm not going to give up on those, but I could just write more. I mean, maybe someday. I love writing false history. And I enjoy doing it. And I could do a stream of it. But that's one of the things that's kind of enjoyable to me. We'll see. Does anybody even read fan fiction anymore? I could do fan fiction. Fan fiction's fun. I kind of don't write fan fiction that you would probably expect. My kind of fan fiction is out there in ways that you probably would never even consider. I could do all levels if I wanted to. but I haven't done fan fiction in a while. I would just do it just for fun, just writing prompts. And there's one thing that's not on here, I don't think, is, well, no, we can talk about that. I think it's coming up later. Yeah, Japanese. Look at all that time and money. It's all on me here to get better at Japanese. Let me move over here so you can read that. I'm not leaving Japan anytime soon. And making friends here seems impossible. So if I'm going to focus on Japanese, there's a lot of things I'd have to do. And I'd probably have to pay for lessons. I'd probably have to pay for Eikaiwa type stuff. And those are expensive, man. We're talking like, 5,000 yen a day. And that adds up. That adds up quite a bit. And it's like, I'd rather just meet some people, and it's just frustrating. So that's why switching completely to Japanese in the future is a possibility. And if I'm going to do that, my focus would be to get up to that point to where it wouldn't be as cringe and embarrassing. But I'm still studying every day somehow. Even when I was sick, I was still studying every day. But I need to put more time into it. But we'll see. Yeah, that'd be big money. Big money in many ways, which I could talk about some other time. So now what? Well, now what? Current possible projects, stuff that is either in the works or is going to happen. The Abraham Rose Information Network. What is this? So I've been kind of thinking about doing a 24-hour, 7-day stream, kind of based on a video that I watched that was about local cable access television. And I'm like, why don't I do that? And I kind of have a lot of fun ideas to do with it. And it's something that can start out simple. And if I like it and I have fun with it, I can build upon. And I'm going to do, if I do it, I'm going to do a stream about it, introducing it, and then start it off after the end of that stream. But right now, the three things that I have that I'm trying to figure out a low power solution to run this stream. I got a few computers I could run it off of that I could do something with, or I might end up having to spend a bit of money to get something basic, because the stream itself is going to be like 480p. I'm going to make it look as much like, from what I've seen on YouTube, cable access television from like the 90s. That's the aesthetic I want. The second is the music. I guess if I could I could make one track that could loop over and over again, but I'd like to put in more. I really don't want to reach out to people because that could cause problems. I really don't want to grab something or have like AI make something. I'm still thinking, me and AI, I kind of want to use it for stuff, but I know that would put me in a category. I already have no views. I don't want to have no views and have people hate me too. So basically, if this is going to happen, it's going to start this month. I'm going to have fun with it. It's just something I'm just going to do for fun. I've already worked out many of the logistics, like how I can edit stuff remotely and how the computer would just be on 24/7, connected to my internet 24/7, and I could control all the content going in on it from my phone if I had to. and update like all the information on it. And we'll talk about that later. But this is something, and if this doesn't happen, I'll bring it up. 3D everything for Maine. This is going to happen this year. So, like, all the aspects and backgrounds and stuff like that are kind of already done. Actually, everything's kind of already done. I just got to change it, and I'm seeing that my plans. See, the deal was everything was supposed to happen gradually. But I'm just going to go, and it's still probably going to happen gradually as I get it to where I like it. I'm basically going to spend a bit more time on it, make it look a little bit better, and probably eventually get everything into Real Engine and stream from Real Engine. Maybe, I don't know yet. But yeah, 3D everything for Maine. Take that for what you will. That's all the hints I'm giving. A few special streams. One coming up soon about Kiz and I. Probably a watch along for opening day baseball game or anything like that. Depending on how the battery situation is on my iPhone, that iPhone battery replacement stream is probably still going to happen. I have a few topics I want to bring up, and I have one very special stream that could happen, but that's about it. That's all I'll say about that. Continue doing the basics. So I was just stream once a week, doing like I have been, but just a lot less. And maybe fade away into nothingness. If basically this is my specialty. If nothing happens and I'm not getting any enjoyment or any growth or any, it's becoming more of a burden than it is fun for me, I'm just gonna slowly disappear. And then one day, Abe will be no more. And I'll just live out my life. Hello, doing my thing. So that's always an option. It might not be what's going to happen, but yeah, it's a possibility. So that be it. That be it. So in short, no more schedules, no more planned streams, no more trying to be a streamer. I'm just gonna be me, do my thing. I'm still gonna try. Still gonna go out and put myself out there. And hopefully things get better. So yeah, that be it. I'll probably be streaming sometime this week, Disgaea. Could change. Just watch the Twitter or whatever. I'll go ahead and get the other social medias up and running and trying to use them a little bit more. I got a couple things I need to do first, which is why it's probably going to be like Thursday or Friday before I stream again. But anyway, oh, that's my stomach. Well, I had a light breakfast because I've got a big lunch coming instead of doing the 2-meal thing today. I've been eating a lot, sleeping a lot. Yeah. That be it. That be it. That be it. So, I'll see y'all sometime this week. Don't know when, but I'll be there. I'm a man of my word. Thank you for watching the VOD. I appreciate you. I love you. Yeah, a lot of stuff's going to start disappearing, but that's okay. Hopefully we start filling it with better stuff. And yeah, that'd be it. So this has been Abraham Rose. Bye, y'all. That wasn't supposed to happen. Where the hell is that freaking video?